Okay, really quickly, I just want to show you some of the new things that I added the last few days. Um, so, couple of WooCommerce things. The first thing is that the custom cross-sells and upsells that they were present in qt 1.0, now that is optional. So if you go to the customize, if you go to WooCommerce, the manual upsells, you can turn them off and go back to WooCommerce's default behavior, where WooCommerce decides the 4 cross-sells and upsells for each product. The second thing that I added was another way of sorting out the archive pages for the WooCommerce products, and the one that I have that added was oldest to the most recent. That's due to a project that I'm doing where they want to sell tickets for events, and I did not want to add a calendar for it, a plugin to show to make it work with a calendar, or a events plugin. We're going to be using WooCommerce, and I want to have the oldest event to be shown first. So that's, and in this case, I make the, in the WooCommerce setup page, I make the oldest to the most recent as the default way of sorting the pages, the shop pages. All right, so the rest of the things that I added, they're all going to be found in the customizer in the first panel, the site identity. And the first one is a preloader. Now every page gets a preloader, and that might eliminate some of the visual problems that you might encounter while loading up pages. You're not going to have those jumping headers anymore, okay? And you can always turn them off if you don't like it from the site identity. Just uncheck the box over there. All right. The next thing is to control the elapsed time. Last time I added, I believe in 1.1 this time, I added, instead of displaying the actual time, to say how many days has elapsed since the post was created. So now you can change it back to to display the actual date the way it was before, your choice. Now in the how to customize a theme, last week, that video, I showed you how to customize many things, including how to change the URL for the RSS feed, so you can have your own feed or just change the feed to something else. Now you can turn off the dashboard feed altogether. The next thing is the private media for multi-authors. This was from qt Themes 1.0. Basically, if you were an admin, you could see all the media files, whether the pictures, MP3 files, video files, PDF, what have you. But when it came to the editors, authors, and contributors, they could only see their own files. They could only see the files that they had uploaded themselves. Now you can turn this feature off, but there's always the danger that somebody might use somebody else's image for their own page, post, whatever they're writing, which is okay. But the more dangerous thing is that they might accidentally or maliciously delete that file. So it's going to be up to you to turn that feature on and off. Also, in 1.0, I had added the ability to not allow subscribers to go to the backside or even see the admin bar, which is basically the same behavior as WooCommerce. When you install WooCommerce, subscribers and customers, if you notice, they can't go to the backside and they don't see the admin bar. and you can turn this behavior off now. So it will have no effect when you have WooCommerce active. So when WooCommerce is active, it wouldn't make a difference. But if you don't have WooCommerce, you can have this feature available for you. Next is to disable the visual editor shortcuts. So there were a few shortcuts that were introduced to the visual editor. I want to say in 4.4 or 4.5. Now with a click of a button, you can disable those shortcuts. The duplicate custom menu. Now that we can create multiple menus. Sometimes you want to create a menu, especially if it's a long menu, it has a lot of items, but it's going to be somewhat similar to the menu that you already have. And it's going to take a lot of time, few minutes, to recreate a similar menu. With this now, if it's turned on, you are going to get a button in the appearance duplicate menu, and then all you have to do is choose one of the available custom menus that you have in the system, and then give it a new name, and then click on the duplicate menu, and that menu is going to be duplicated for you. And when you go to the menu, you're going to be able to see it there and do whatever you were supposed to do. All right. By default, it's going to be turned off because I realize that some people, they don't even use custom menus, or some people use one custom menu. This is for the people that want to create more sophisticated websites with a lot of menus. All right, next. We can password protect the site, or we can put it in maintenance mode or coming soon mode, whatever you want it. So it's pretty much straightforward. Let me demonstrate really quickly. If you say protect the site, basically you're going to be whoever is logged out. If you try to go to the site, you're going to see the page to log in. Nothing else is going to work. You're not going to be able to see the website unless you log in. So if you remember to the website, anywhere from subscribers all the way to admin, all you have to do is log in, and now you can see the website. The second option is a little bit more sophisticated, and basically is the way I did it. I made it so that the website, it's going to be password protected again, except the front page. Okay, so right now I have in the back side a front page which is not part of the menu, not part of the custom menu. That page is called coming soon, I believe. So if you go to the static front page and change that to the coming soon page, I'm going to say save. And if you log out, you're going to be able to see this, any other page, for example, shop. It's going to redirect you to the login page, and unless you log in, you're not going to be able to see anything. And I've got the menu over here, so everything is going to be working once you log in, except of course the home page that you're going to see the coming soon page. So when you're done with your maintenance or the coming soon and your website is ready to go, all you have to do to turn off this feature is go back to the customize and start with the static front page. Turn it the way it was before, whether it was your latest post or another static page, especially that you had designed for your home page. Do that, and then go back to the site identity and turn that feature off. And that feature now is off. All right. One more thing. Although you are seeing two things over here, the reset all passwords, I don't think it's ready yet. I wanted to make it ready, but it's not. Let me the reset all password, it's what it says. It's going to create a button basically in the backside, and if you click on it, it's going to reset all the passwords immediately. You don't even have to log off. And all the passwords will be emailed to all the members, including the administrators. Now, one thing that I thought was that, let's say you have 1,000 members and 3 or 4 admins. You have like 1,000 emails being out on the internet in the wild, where people can have access to it because the emails that WordPress sends out, they're not encrypted. So that's one danger. The second thing is instead of sending the passwords to the users, send a link to the recover password part, where they're gonna ask for to reset the password. Then another email is gonna come. Then they have to get the link to that and reset the password, and that's going to probably piss off some users. It's going to make things difficult. Now, why do you need the reset all passwords? I'm going to talk about the security plugin that I'll be recommending and using. It's got a feature in it where it can detect that your site is being attacked. And I'm not saying someone who just tried to log into the backside unsuccessfully 3, 4, 5 times. I'm talking a group of users. So you can set the limit, and the default limit is if you get 200 failed logins in 30 minutes. Then it's going to go into what they call the citadel mode, where nobody's going to get into the backside for the amount of time that you decide. The default time is 60 minutes, so an hour. So if your website is under attack, you get 200 login failures in 30 minutes. Nobody's going to be able to access the website. Now, you're going to get, as an administrator, you are going to get an email from that plugin that your website is in lockdown mode. Only people who are in the whitelist, which includes you, by the way, will be able to log in. Now, at that point, you shouldn't worry that much about the customer accounts or a subscriber account getting breached, but you should worry about all the others, especially administrators. And there's no way of telling whether an editor or especially an administrator, if the password is strong enough. So this, by resetting all the passwords, it's going to ensure that every single password is going to be a strong password, a long one, a difficult one to crack, and that's it. So I've got some thinking to do. That's going to be a part of the next version, 1.2, in a few months. I'm also thinking of getting rid of the reset all passwords altogether, and then built in a strong password feature in the theme. So whether you're an existing user or a new user, it's going to force you to have a strong passwords. So if you don't have a strong password, you're not going to be able to set up the account in there, which again can cause some issues for WooCommerce customers that they want to have an easy password. So I will probably make an exception and only enforce strong passwords to everybody that can edit files. Admins, super admins, editors, contributors, and authors. All right, so that's it. So the last thing, it's a secret key. Now, right now, the secret key doesn't work with the login widget, and it doesn't work with the WooCommerce login pages. So if you want to use the login widget or WooCommerce, you cannot use this feature. So basically, if you turn it on in the customizer, you are going to get a menu item under users, and you're going to be able to set a secret code. Now, to disable it, and it is disabled right now, all you have to do is leave it, have it empty, and then save the changes. Now let me set as a secret code to 1234. This is done on a website level, but not on a user level. So everybody who's supposed to get into the website should know this. And again, if you have a WooCommerce site, this is not a good idea. It's not very practical to do it. I'm going to try in the future to make this on a per user level as opposed to the website level. So now logging in just with the correct usernames and passwords is not going to work. Another thing that I'm adding that it was supposed to be in a plugin, security plugin, I added it on the actual theme now, and instead of having the security plugin, I'm not going to have that plugin anymore. I'm going to include all the security features inside the theme. So now, in order for you to log in, all you have to do is put the actual secret code, and it's going to work. All right. So one last thing I want to show you is the server, WP server plugin. This is a plugin that I discovered about a month ago, and it has some very interesting features. I was using the login lockdown plugin for security features, and I'm not going to be recommending that anymore. So the TGM will be recommending this plugin. So in 3 attempts, in 60, anyone who's trying to log in will have 3 attempts in 60 minutes. Otherwise, they're going to be locked out for 60 minutes, and then you can have increased that. The thing that's interesting is you can change the login page from WP edit to anything you want. In this case, I just put edit. You can also say that somebody who's trying to directly access that page return the 404 not found page, which I believe it's going to do automatically anyways. And this is the Citadel mode that I talked about earlier. And you can change the settings over here. So basically, I'm using the default ones in this case. If everybody's going to be locked out if the website gets 200 failed login attempts within 30 minutes, and the whole website is going to be in a lockdown. The site is going to work. The login part is not going to work for 60 minutes. And of course, you can receive the notification as an admin. And the only person who can log in when that happens is the people who are in the access list, who are in the whitelist, and those are the only people who are going to be able to log in for that amount of time. What else is there here? You have the access list, you have the activity, and it just logs all the logins and the logouts, including the IP addresses and the dates. And you have all the different filters for it, just the login, just the logout, and so on and so forth. Over here, this panel is for the all the logouts, how you want to harden your WordPress installation even more. And these are your usernames, what you're not going to allow to, what usernames are not going to be allowed to be used with this WordPress installation. You can have admin, administrator, webmaster, or what have you. You can put it in here. All right, so the plugin has just got updated today, and this is a new thing. It's got an error. Hopefully they'll fix it. All right, so and the last thing that the plugin does, if you go to the users list, it's going to show you the last login which you already had with quicker themes 1.1, the beta version. But also now what it adds is the date of the registration. So and it's also sortable. So you can see each member, the date that they were registered. So those are some of the things I'm working. There's none of this code is actually in the plugin. Everything is on a WordPress theme manually. So I have to put them in the plugin. I'm hoping that between September 1st and 4th, that's between Thursday, this coming Thursday in 3 days to this coming Sunday, everything will be ready, tested, and ready to go, and start shipping the plugin to the people who already have it. All right, that's it.